everyone, and welcome to Live Interactive English. I'm Mike.
And I'm Sam.
And today we are beginning an article all about Mads Mikkelsen. You know who he is? He's Hollywood's favorite bad guy, if you didn't know that.
Oh, well, I didn't know that about him, no, but cool.
Yeah, he's Hollywood's favorite bad guy, and he's also like your cousin?
Oh,
your old school friend?
Yeah, my uncle's brother's wife's brother.
Well, he's from Denmark, and so are you, sort of.
Sorta.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and so my family is part Danish, and Mads Mikkelsen is obviously full Danish.
Fully Danish.
He's from
yes.
Denmark, and we're going to learn about that.
Very nice.
But Denmark is a very interesting place.
Okay, there are a lot of good artists, I find. There's musicians, actors, other creative people. Of course, Hans Christian Andersen, a famous writer from Denmark. Have you ever, I know you're from America, obviously we know that, but have you been to Denmark?
I have, actually, yes.
Did you meet Mads Mikkelsen?
No, sadly, I did not. I'm sure he was busy filming at the time.
Absolutely. That's the only reason why.
Yes, that was the only reason I didn't get to hang out with him.
But was it a nice place to go?
Yes, I actually went to Copenhagen, and Copenhagen was very, very beautiful. Lots of pretty old architecture, cool buildings, cool streets, the very nice train system. Everybody was friendly, lots of bikes. It was a lot of fun.
Denmark's often listed as one of the best countries to live in the whole world,
and
right?
I can see why. Although it did rain almost the whole time I was there, besides that part, it was really pretty.
Not really sunny and warm all of the time.
Not that much.
And how about the men that you met? Were they all mean and nasty and evil and cruel?
No, I think they're just good actors.
I think that's showing us that Mads Mikkelsen is a great actor, because if he's a favorite bad guy of Hollywood, but also a nice guy from Denmark, how does he pull it off? Let's find out. You might not recognize him, but chances are you've witnessed the dramatic talent of Danish actor Mads Mikkelsen. A highly talented actor, Mikkelsen has earned critical praise for roles in everything from small independent movies to Harry Potter films. What's more, Mikkelsen is soon to add another great character to his acting record in Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. All right, so yes, Mads Mikkelsen, Hollywood's favorite bad guy. I've seen him in a lot of movies, and yeah, he's usually a bad guy.
I think he's got the face for it.
He does have that kind of creepy face, yes, absolutely. All right, let's get into the article and find out more about this very talented Danish actor.
Yes, so we read, you might not recognize him, but chances are you've witnessed the dramatic talent of Danish actor Mads Mikkelsen. So yes, we see this, we have this word recognize, it's a verb. Recognize means to see something and you know that thing and you've seen it before, and so you can say, oh, I recognize that person. Maybe you're walking down the street and you see your friend and you wave and you say hi because you recognize that person. So something that you've seen before, something that you might know. And our example sentence, we have Debbie has lost a lot of weight. So I didn't recognize her at first. Obviously, I know Debbie, but now that she's lost weight, I didn't recognize her. She didn't look like herself. I almost didn't know who she was.
Absolutely. We often, of course, recognize things by looking at them, but you can also recognize a sound, right? If Sam called me on the phone, I would probably recognize her voice even before she said, hi, it's Sam, or something. And you could recognize a smell or a taste. It just means you've experienced it before, you've seen it before, you've heard or tasted or something like that before. And we also are able to witness the talent of Mads Mikkelsen. When you witness something, this is a verb, not a noun, although it could be a noun, but when you witness something, you see it by yourself. You see it in real life is what I mean. You were actually there. You didn't hear about it, you didn't watch film or video of it on the news or something. You were actually there at the time, saw it with your own eyes in person in real time. For example, I witnessed an accident on the highway this morning. If you witness a crime or an accident, the police might want to talk to you. And in that case, you would become the noun form. You would be a witness, a person who was there when the accident or whatever happened, who witnessed that event. Back to the article, a highly talented actor, in other words, he's really good, Mikkelsen has earned critical praise for roles in everything, from small independent movies to Harry Potter films. He does seem like one of those people you might call an actor's actor, right? He's not always just trying to be the star and be himself in some kind of way. He always really gets in to the part, really gets into the performance, and so he has gotten a lot of critical acclaim or critical success.
Yes, and so we have this word critical. It is an adjective. You may have heard this word before if somebody's being critical to you, and that's like saying you did something bad and this wasn't right and that wasn't right. But this is the good kind of critical. So not something that you will hear as often. It's usually when we talk about TV shows, movies, books, all that kind of stuff. And it comes from the critic's opinion on those things. So critics are the people who watch it and they judge it, and that's their whole job, to tell you if it's good or bad. A lot of time critics say things are not good that people like, and that things that are good then people maybe don't like. So usually the critic's opinions is not exactly what the general audience thinks about those things, but that it is their job to check and see, is this good or bad? And so we can say they have critical acclaim. That means it was really good according to those critics. Critical success, they're doing really well based on what these critics' opinions are. So we have a example sentence. It says, the TV show is a commercial and critical success.
Wow.
So in this sentence, you can see we have commercial success. That's more like everybody, general audience, and critical success. The critics said it's good.
Absolutely.
Yes, and so if we continue with our reading, we see, what's more, Mikkelsen is soon to add another great character to his acting record in Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny.
Wow, he's going to be in the next Indiana Jones movie.
I didn't even know they were making another Indiana Jones movie.
They are, with Phoebe Waller-Bridge from that British show, Fleabag.
Oh.
Yeah, she's very good. I guess he's going to be the bad guy.
Probably.
I'm guessing. He's got the bad guy face. He might be a Nazi who gets punched by Indiana Jones, because there's a lot of Nazi punching in those movies. We'll have to see it and find out. But before we do that, we're going to take a break, and then after that, we'll do the article, and then we can go see the movie. But not yet.
Hello， 大家好，我是 Hanny。这次要介绍的人物是好莱坞的最佳反派演员 Maize Mixon 麦兹米克森。你也许认不得他，可是很有可能已经见识过他的戏剧才华了。那这一位才华洋溢的丹麦演员，从小型的独立电影到哈利波特电影当中的各种角色，都曾获得影评人的赞赏。好，那么单字 recognize 这个动词就表示认出，也有认可啊、承认的意思。那么 witness 是动词，表示亲眼看见、目睹或是亲身经历。这个单字也可以当名词，那就表示证人或是目击者。再看到 critical， 它可以形容批判的、关键性的或是危急的。可是，在课文里面呢 ，critical 它是形容可能像是艺术啊、文学、电影等等它的评论的或是评论界的。那老师有提到 critical acclaim， 那就可以表达获得好评论、获得评论家的赞赏。好，那我们接着回到课文中。
Mikkelsen didn't start his performing career as an actor. Born in 1965, he was raised in a working-class area of Copenhagen, where his father worked at a bank and his mother worked as a nurse. As a boy, Mikkelsen wanted to be an athlete and trained as a gymnast. Later, he studied dance in Sweden, where he met his wife. After dancing professionally for about 10 years, he decided to pursue acting, and finally returned to Denmark in 1996. His on-screen introduction came that same year in the Danish film Pusher. Mikkelsen spent the next few years taking on various roles in critically praised European films, until a Danish television series about a special police task force made him famous in his home country. His international breakthrough came soon after in 2006, when he starred as an icy villain opposite James Bond in Casino Royale. All right, we are back with more from the great Danish actor Mads Mikkelsen. We've done a lot of these actor stories, profiles over the years. And of course, you will find some about actors who even as a child, they're like, I want to be an actor, and they were in the school play and all that stuff. And that's great, but I always find it more interesting when you discover people who became actors much later in life and they had other experiences. And it seems that Mads Mikkelsen falls into that group. He wasn't born knowing he had to act. He came to it later.
Yes, and so we actually see that in this next part of our article where we read, Mikkelsen didn't start his performing career as an actor. Born in 1965, he was raised in a working-class area of Copenhagen where his father worked at a bank and his mother worked as a nurse. As a boy, Mikkelsen wanted to be an athlete and trained as a gymnast. Yeah, so not anywhere close to acting.
Whoa.
He wanted to be a gymnast. He wanted to be a really great athlete and maybe go to the Olympics or something like that.
Yeah, and when you said athlete, my thoughts turned to a soccer player, maybe a hockey player, but a gymnast. Very cool. I wonder if he does his own stunts. In the movies, because as a gymnast, he would know about that kind of stuff. And of course, as an athlete, he would be very physically fit, and he still looks like he's in good shape, looks like a guy who takes care of himself. Athletes, of course, have to take care of their bodies to a very high degree because these are professional, probably sports people. If you play sports, if it's a big part of your life, if you kind of design your whole life, your daily schedule, your diet around being in shape, working out, training, practicing, playing games, taking part in competitions, you are an athlete. You could be a professional athlete, in which case it's your job and you get paid, or you could just be a very enthusiastic or serious amateur athlete. You have a regular job, but every weekend you're running marathons or taking part in competitions. Sports is a major part of your life, maybe even your job. For example, the athlete won the race and received a gold medal.
Yay.
I'm not an athlete. I watched him do it on TV. And I had some potato chips.
Your sport is sitting on the couch and being a couch
I have
potato.
to run to the fridge to get a drink during the commercial, so I'm running there. Back to the article. Later, after he kind of decided maybe that being a gymnast wasn't his thing, later he studied dance in Sweden, where he met his wife. Very interesting, but I can see, an athlete, a gymnast, a dancer,
they're kind of in the same
moving their body.
Similar category, I would guess.
Exactly, and they have a pretty good body shape, a good healthy body shape. But yeah, he wasn't just dancing on the weekend or to meet the ladies, although he did meet his wife that way. He was doing it quite seriously. After dancing professionally for about 10 years, he decided to pursue acting and finally returned to Denmark in 1996.
Wow.
So he was like traveling around the world doing this dancing stuff.
Yeah, that's a pretty big career change after 10 years of doing something and then deciding you want to totally switch gears and do something else. And so we had this word pursue. Pursue is a verb, and when you pursue something, you are trying to, this case, we're not pursuing like chasing after, but you're chasing after a job or something else that you want to obtain. So you're reaching for that goal, so you're pursuing that goal. Again, you can also use it as a verb to just mean chasing after, like the cops were pursuing the car. But here we see him pursuing a different career, pursuing acting. And so we have an example sentence, Jed has decided to pursue a career in music. So before, maybe he didn't have that job. Now he wants to, or maybe in school he was learning how to be a musician or something like that. Okay, so now we've got him switching gears. He wants to pursue acting, and as we read, it says, His on-screen introduction came that same year, so that 1996 when he's moved back to Denmark. That same year in the Danish film Pusher. Mikkelsen spent the next few years taking on various roles in critically praised European films until a Danish television series about a special police task force made him famous in his home country.
Wow.
Yeah, so it sounds like he had a few different roles, but then this TV series made him kind of blow up in Denmark, get very famous in Denmark.
Copenhagen Vice. Or something like that. Who knows? Sounds like it was probably quite a good show. A lot of those shows from Denmark, Sweden, I like their police shows, their murder mysteries. They're got a good mood, a good atmosphere to it. So that might be one to check out. His international, so this is all in Denmark. So he was quite a famous guy in Denmark, probably became very well known, popular, saw his face on the side of buses advertising his shows, but in Denmark, which of course for movies is like being on the moon. But his international breakthrough came soon after in 2006 when he starred as an icy villain opposite James Bond in Casino Royale. He's Le Chiffre, I believe. He cries blood.
Oh,
Isn't that cool?
I remember that now.
Cool bad guy. I think Le Chiffre, yeah, he was like the gambling guy who Bond competes against, and then at the end he tortures Bond in a really terrible way that I won't tell you about. But anyways, there you go. That's where I first saw him. He was good in that movie. All right, guys, that's all the time we have for today, but there will be more from Mads Mikkelsen. We will be going mad for Mads in for another day, so let's come back and do that. Until then, let's say goodbye in Danish. Goodbye. Goodbye. No?
Oh, I don't know how to say it.
Goodbye.
Tschüss. That's German. But...
That's like kiss in German.
Mads Mikkelsen 并非一开始就当演员，他小时候啊是想成为运动员，那他也接受过体操运动训练。后来他在瑞典学习舞蹈，那在那边认识了他的妻子。在从事这个大约10年的职业舞蹈工作之后呢，他就决定追求表演事业，最后在1996年回到丹麦。好，那么单字 athlete 它表示运动员，擅长运动的人。那么 pursue 这个动词表示追求、寻求，它也有实行或是追逐的意思。那么补充单字 gymnast 表示体操运动员。好，那么 Mike 老师刚刚在想，Mads Mikkelsen 他受过体操训练，搞不好在电影里的特技动作都是亲自上阵。那么老师用到 stunt，S-T-U-N-T 这个单字表示特技动作，通常就是指电影当中的特技动作。那么课文提到说 ，Mads Mikkelsen 的荧幕处女作是1996年的丹麦电影《末路狂奔》。接下来的几年，他也有在深获好评的欧洲电影当中来饰演各种角色，直到一部关于特警特别小组的丹麦电视影集，让他在家乡走红了。然后在2006年这个007首部曲《皇家夜总会》当中，他就有饰演反派角色，演艺事业就取得了国际性的突破。好，那这边有2个重点，我们要进入文法时间。好，我们来看第一个重点是关系副词 where 与 when 的用法。when 跟 where 当关系副词呢，就相当于介系词加上 which。那么 when 引导的关系子句可以补述说明或是修饰跟时间相关的先行词，而 where 则是引导关系子句来补述说明或修饰与地点相关的先行词。好，那么用法就有分成限定用法跟非限定用法。首先我们来看看，当先行词它是特定的时间或地点时，就是要非限定用法，因为不用限定它的范围了。那关系子句的功能是要补充说明先行词，这时候 when 或是 where 前面要加逗号，就把它这个补充说明的关系子句隔开来哦。好，看2个例句。Mr. Kent retired in 2005 when his son graduated from college. Mr. Kent 在2005年退休，那一年啊，他的儿子大学毕业。或是 Sam spent 2 months a year in Tainan, where most of his relatives live. Sam 1年有2个月待在台南，他大部分的亲戚都住在那里。好，再我们看到先行词它是不特定的时间或地点时，我们就要去限定它的范围，所以是限定用法。关系子句的功能是要修饰先行词。那么 when 跟 where 的前面不加逗号哦，也就是说我们要紧接在先行词后面来限定它的范围。我们看2个例句。 Pam still remembers the day when she first met her husband. Pam 还记得她初次见到她老公的那一天。This is a place where you can feel at home. 这是一个你可以感到自在的地方。好，第二个重点是 until 它表示直到或是直到点点点为止，可以当连接词，这时候后面是接子句，也可以当介系词，那后面就是接名词。举例来说 ，He watched TV until his wife came home. 他看电视直到他太太回到家为止，这边后面就是接子句，所以 until 是连接词。He watched TV until midnight. 他看电视看到半夜12点。那这边我们后面接名词 midnight， 所以 until 它是当介系词用。好，以上是今天的讲解，同学别走开，马上回来哦。
You might not recognize him, but chances are you've witnessed the dramatic talent of Danish actor Maize Mixon. A highly talented actor, Mikkelsen has earned critical praise for roles in everything from small independent movies to Harry Potter films. What's more, Mikkelsen is soon to add another great character to his acting record in Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. Mikkelsen didn't start his performing career as an actor. Born in 1965, he was raised in a working-class area of Copenhagen, where his father worked at a bank and his mother worked as a nurse. As a boy, Mikkelsen wanted to be an athlete and trained as a gymnast. Later, he studied dance in Sweden, where he met his wife. After dancing professionally for about 10 years, he decided to pursue acting and finally returned to Denmark in 1996. His on-screen introduction came that same year in the Danish film Pusher. Mikkelsen spent the next few years taking on various roles in critically praised European films, until a Danish television series about a special police task force made him famous in his home country. His international breakthrough came soon after in 2006, when he starred as an icy villain opposite James Bond in Casino Royale.
Hello everyone, my name is Winnie.
And my name is Kiki.
And today we are playing Guess the Bear. Now we each have 3 cards and each card has 2 sentences. Each of the sentence has a word or phrase replaced by the word bear. So we each have 1 minute to figure out as many words as we can. Kiki, are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Okay, can we get a timer and go. Your first one is a verb and it's 1 word. Anna bared the accident on the highway. The police talked to anyone who bared the crime.
Witness.
Good. Okay, next one, noun, 1 word. Bears compete in the Olympics every 4 years. My sister is quite the bear. She plays 4 different sports.
Athlete.
Good. Now your last one, verb, 1 word. It had been so long, I didn't bear her at all. What is this place? I bear it from a movie.
Can you give me that clue again, please?
It had been so long, I didn't bear her at all. What is this place? I bear it from a movie.
And what's the...
It's a verb.
It's a verb.
Yeah.
The first sentence?
It had been so long, I didn't bear her at all. What is this place? I bear it from a movie.
Ooh. Scene? See?
No.
Scene. Saw?
No.
Oh no.
I bear it from a movie.
Ooh.
Okay, the last one that you almost got, it had been so long I didn't recognize her at all. What is this place? I recognize it from a movie.
Okay.
But you got 2.
Right. All right. So it's your turn now,
Yes.
Winnie.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah, ready.
Okay, 1 minute on the clock. First word is an adjective. The book was a commercial and bare success. Believing in yourself is bare to achieving your goals. The book was a commercial and bare success. Believing in yourself is bare to achieving your goals. It's an adjective.
I know it, but okay, next one.
The second card, it's a noun. The scientific bear was celebrated in the community. Through therapy, he had a bear in his understanding of himself.
Achievement?
It's a noun.
Oh.
The scientific bear was celebrated in the community. Through therapy, he had a bear in his understanding of himself.
Breakthrough.
Very good. Okay.
Last card, verb. Luke will bear a career in medicine after graduation. She didn't want to talk about it, so I didn't bear the topic.
Pursue.
Very good. Okay, back to the first card. Adjective.
Oh! We're out of time!
Yes, okay, all right. So the first card that you missed, the adjective was critical, okay? The book was a commercial and critical success. Believing in yourself is critical to achieving your goals, okay?
Wow, okay.
All right, so yeah, those were really hard words,
Yeah,
actually.
they were. I think both of us